This week's Extra Life on F5 Live Refreshing Technology is proudly powered by EXA. EXA brings the latest technology to gamers, offering the most immersive products for the ultimate gaming experience. They've compiled the best elements of cutting-edge ENC tech, the latest in Bluetooth 5.0 and 7.1 surround, plus extra features into their headsets so everyone can enjoy a sensational gaming experience. And they've got headsets for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Plus, they won't break the bank. Learn more about the headsets that are available and any current promotions by going to f5live.tv/exa. So in the gaming world, the modern gaming world, one of the things that we have lost is the ability to buy and sell used games. Now, in the old days, we had cartridges, we had CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays. Today, we mostly deal with digital distribution. It was one of the big concerns with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, was their focus on digital distribution. Microsoft came up with the solution for being able to share games. GameStop tried to create a way to buy, sell, and trade used titles, but nobody got on board, and I'm pretty sure the idea went away. But we have a platform that has been in beta for seemingly a long time. I think it's been a couple of years now, called Robot Cash. And this system is designed specifically to be able to buy and sell used games. It works on blockchain. You can make purchases through cash or the cryptocurrency of the platform, which is called Iron. You can earn Iron by selling games, or there's challenges and stuff based into the platform that you can use as well. And through that, you can earn the cryptocurrency and then make purchases with it. But the thing that makes it really interesting is that ability to buy and sell used titles. Now, the way they've gotten through this is by getting the developers and publishers on board, because when a used game is sold, 25% of the value goes to the person who owned it, 70% goes to the studio, and then 5% goes to Robot Cash. That's how they keep their lights on. It's a really interesting concept. It's just coming out of beta now. It's been in beta a long time. It's coming out of beta, I think, this week. They are giving away a free game as part of it. Wasteland 3, if you sign up, you can grab the game for free right now. At the very least, that's, worth it to get the free game. But it's definitely an interesting concept. I'm curious how it's going to work, though. Not like technologically. I understand technologically how it works. But I'm really curious about whether this is going to succeed or not. What do you think, Avram?
So here's my question. I don't know if we have the answer is, how many developers have opted into this? I assume for every game that they have listed, the publisher has to agree to it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because I think the only things that they're selling through the store are games that can then later be resold. And I'll tell you, like, on here, we've got Destroy All Humans, obviously Wasteland 3. My browser has locked up. The website is really weird. Like, I don't know if it's like super
Lumberjack's
JavaScripty.
Dynasty.
I don't know if it's
Lumberjack
super
Dynasty.
I don't know if it's super JavaScripty or what, but every time I come here, no matter what computer I'm on, it locks up. But like, it does seem like there's a lot of publishers in here, and if they can show any success with this, they'll get more. The studios and publishers that are missing will join in later.
If you're a publisher, why would you participate in this? Because you're you're basically giving away 30% of your profit, uh, 30% of your profit on a game right off the bat.
Uh, it's an interesting question. It's an interesting question. Um, I guess one possibility would be that you're only giving away that 30% on secondary sales, which ends up with basically selling for 170%. If it's resold once, you get 170%. And if it's an online game, you've only got one active user at a time.
Okay, but you and this is always the interesting question when it comes to this is the interesting question when it comes to a lot of things. How do you know that the person who bought it at who bought it at a lower price? Oh, and remember, wait, it's they're not just losing 30% because they're getting 70% of what's probably a lower price because it's a used game, right? So it's not
Potentially.
even 70%. It's not
Potentially.
even 70%. If the original game was $60 and then there's a person selling it used for $30, you're not getting 70% of $60, you're getting 70% of $30.
True.
So you're losing more than that. Um, but if that game wasn't available used, then the person who wants it would have to pay the $60.
True.
Therefore, you're getting the whole $60. Now,
True.
the question in all these cases is, would that person have not bought the game if it was not that price?
Mm-hmm.
But um,
And it also
but
comes to the the price difference. Like, is that like 30? Let's just go with whole numbers. Is that $30 difference on an infrastructure level a bonus to have two users potentially active on the system, as opposed to losing that 30 and only having one user active on an online game? There's all kinds of weird calculus that goes
but
into this.
but you see, I think most people would just buy it through Robot Cash, which I understand there has to be a limited number of copies or whatever, but they buy it like depending on how much scarcity there is on Robot Cash for like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I want to get this game, but I can't get it because not enough used people are selling it used or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like that, something like that would have to happen for people to not say, well, if I can get this for a lesser price, why wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Especially because unlike some sites that are key sellers, right? Like there's a lot of sites out there that will sell you game keys,
Right.
and there's real questions about whether those keys are legit,
Right.
right? Um, so versus a game key thing, this is obviously a big plus for them. But on the other hand, if they are cooperating with Robot Cash, then that means that the game is guaranteed to work, and so they can't, so you can't say like, oh well, you could get a key that doesn't work and then you've got a problem, or they could deactivate your key at some point
Mm-hmm.
if it's pirated. But if this is quote unquote supported and legit to the publisher, then there's no reason not to buy a used game. It's not like, I mean, what are the reasons you wouldn't buy a used physical media game? I'm worried that it's scratched. They don't scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have it in my GameStop, the one that I
Right.
want. It's missing the instructions.
The box.
Some the box. The person who used it might have had cooties. I don't know. I don't know if
Licked
that's a
it.
real thing, but it could be. I don't know. It's just always something nice about it. Something that no other person touched except someone in the factory probably touched it. So
We used
like,
to say at Radio Shack, untouched by American hands.
yeah, right. So untouched, right? Untouched outside of the factory, right? So right. So, but none of those concerns exist with this digital only media. You don't have to worry about
Mm-hmm.
any of those problems because you were going to buy it digitally and now you bought it digitally. you were going to buy it digitally from Steam or Epic, and now you bought it
Mm-hmm.
digitally from here. Like, what difference does it make to you? Like,
True.
uh, so so
I
yeah, I mean,
wonder.
I think this would be dangerous for them.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how much stuff comes with the purchase. I wonder if it's just the CD or does it come with all the character data? I don't know.
Oh, you
That
mean the
would be
person
fast.
saves?
That
I
would be
hope not, because
fascinating. I hope not
I
too.
don't think I don't think you have to upload your game. I think they have the game, and they're just getting
You
your license.
so you're purchasing the game. This is a digital. This is a instead of Steam. So the original person has to have purchased it as a full product from here, from what I understand,
All right,
and then put it back up for sale later. So everything lives within this ecosystem.
right.
The
I
original
mean,
purchase, the repurchase, from what I understand.
I'm sure some publishers will go for this. I mean, after all, it's not like these games are like, after they recoup their costs, which are obviously could be quite significant. Like, it's not like it doesn't cost them anything for an additional person to get it, as you say, right? So
Right.
they don't have to print and mint another CD.
Right.
So there's some who will say, hey, there's some publishers who will say, hey, my game, I need, you know I need more people getting my game. But I think the top publishers are not going to participate. That's my guess.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens with this. It is a fascinating concept, but I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what the market positioning on it is, and it will be interesting to see how all of that goes. It's been operating in beta for a while now. It's just coming out of beta now, but like we saw with NVIDIA, the GeForce Now, coming out of beta was the mistake that they made.
Right.
That was when all eyes were on them and things went sideways. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.